Hey, what's up and hello? This is the Chris Nicole bringing you my views on life, love, and the world of entertainment through my eyes. Oh, yes, crew. First things first, make sure you hit the likety like button on the way in. But I must say, Raising Kanan, thank you. Thank you for bringing the good feels that I felt season 1 and 2 back. These last 2 episodes have been everything. And whoever wrote them, thank you, because I was concerned. I was falling asleep on the first couple of episodes. I just was confused on why it was so boring, but they're back. Unfortunately, we only have one more episode, and then we have to wait until 2026 to see the series finale, season 5. Hey, Danielle. Hey, Hankin. So let's talk about it and make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Let me tell you something. There are so many ways that this can go. And I love that because I don't like for things to be completely predictable. The way that they're setting things up, we know something's about to pop off. We just don't know who's about to pop off or pop off the show. But I'm going to give my little predictions and y'all let me know in the chat also what you guys are predicting. I'm not going to go step by step as far as a review is concerned, but let's talk about it. So we start off with good old Crystal Child. In typical junkie fashion, they got her pretty much just in her t-shirt and her panties on, looking like she's strung out on a dirty mattress. And next thing you know, I forgot the woman's name, but she's the old lady who's married to that guy. She come in looking like she's some wholesome house mama, like, hey baby, oh Lord, look what they did to you, Lord have mercy. Come on, honey, let me clean you up and let me get you some food as in a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So in a nutshell, she trying to find out what this girl know. That was the main reason why the police picked her up in the first place. What does she know? And she's so either high or delirious and also at the same time don't understand the streets that she don't even realize that she about to get unalive regardless on what she say. But she ends up running her mouth because of course they're trying to figure out who is Kanan, really trying to figure out who unalive famous, who is he thinking, who's on his mind about who did it. So Crystal's like, well, he keeps talking about his mama and I keep telling him it's not his mama, but he's so obsessed with just hating her for everything. And that's all she wrote. Child, she heard that and she was like, before that, she said, us bad bitches gotta stick together. Then that bad bitch took that bad steel out and pow straight to the head, and Crystal is out of here. She is a goner, okay? So Crystal, at the end of the day, she was innocent. She definitely was not someone who was caught up in the game. She was just stuck with a guy she claimed she loved that was caught up in the game. All right. So RIP to Crystal. But the reality is, I have a feeling that Pops, that couple, I think they're gonna stay until next season. That is my prediction, at least right now. Make sure y'all hit the like button on the way in. So then we have Kanan, okay, and he goes to the diner. I love the fact that they continue to have that diner throughout the actual series. One thing about it, they forgot the whole mathematics part that they used to talk about. What's the math? Remember when they did that the first season? Well, at least they kept the freaking diner. They always meet up at this diner. So Kanan goes and meet Juke at the freaking diner. So, oh, we got 10 in the room and only 2 likes, you guys. Please get the likes up for your girl. Get the likes up. The likes gets me in the algorithm and brings people like us together to build a community. So he ends up going to see Juke, but he don't know that his mama, his mammy is there. And she's like, what's up, Kanan? And he was like, you set me up. You knew about this. And Juke is like, shit your mom's. Like, calm your ass down. So at that point, she's like, look, I heard you about to get into some mess or whatever the case may be. Your girlfriend came to my house and he was like, Crystal, when she come to my house? When she come to your house? What time of day was it? Did you see somebody pick her up? And she was like, I ain't seen none of that. But he ends up implying that maybe she did something to Famous. And she was like, I know you ain't implying I did something to Famous. I love Famous. And he was like you love D-Wiz. And she was like, how many times I got to tell you that was your F up? I had to take him out to protect you. And so at that point, he's still, of course, not trying to hear anything his mama is saying. And he's trying, she just said, look, I'm tired of cleaning up your mess. I'm tired of cleaning up your mess. And he was like, you know what? Even if you didn't do anything to Crystal, even if you didn't do anything to Famous, like you just being around is just bad luck or whatever the case may be. You may have something indirectly to do with it. And so she was like, it must be nice that you can always point the finger at me. It must be nice to have, me in your life to do that. And he said, ain't nothing nice about having you in my life. And then he ends up running off. When I tell you, I'm so sick of Kanan. Like, granted, Rock is not perfect, but neither is he. You know what I'm saying? And maybe that's why they clash it, because they so much alike. But I love this line. Whoever wrote this episode, when Rock was like, Juke, I think she said something like, I can't win him. Like, you know what I'm saying? I can't win him for nothing. And she was like, you need to stop trying to win him and focus on you losing him. That's what Juke said. And I was like, that's an excellent line. That's a bar. You know what I mean? So, yeah. So, definitely at the end of the day, I'm kind of over Kanan. But what we do know is Kanan and Rock are not going anywhere, or Juke for that matter. Next season, they are both, all three are going to be there. They're definitely going to be there. So, we're going to talk about the ones that I feel like are not going to be there, though. But with that being said, we're going to move on. So, what I do predict is that Marvin is a goner. Now, is he going to be a goner in a sense of a pow, or he's going to the upper room, or hell going to hell? I don't know. He may actually get saved by going to prison. What I do predict, though, is that we are not going to suspect automatically who is going to take him out if he is actually taken out. I don't think it's going to be Stefano. I think Stefano is trying to set it up where he actually is trying to get Rock to do it. But at the same time, what his dumbass did at the freaking adoption house, it could be his own little girl that he's trying to save. Good old Uncle Marvin's niecey poo could tell on him and he ends up going to jail. Y'all let me know. But we do know that at this point, Marvin has been effing up so much. So let me tell y'all what this idiot did, okay? This freaking idiot, I said that too, Danielle, but I'm going to explain why I don't think she's going to be the one to actually do it. We'll see, though. But this freaking idiot, we know based off of the last episode, he ended up having the guy who has the garage, the filthy garage or whatever the case may be, and another guy took out some Italian big mafia boss or something like that, and ended up messing it up. So Marvin, like a dum-dum, ends up taking out the cousin, but not taking out the guy who owns the garage. Now, clearly that was a dumb move. If both of them did the dirty work, you would need to take both of them out. He doesn't do that. He only takes one of them out. So literally, the freaking idiot ends up getting in his car, and the garage owner, I'm going to call him the garage owner because he ain't even worthy of having a name, in my opinion. Then, yeah, I think his name was Ely Early. I don't give a shit. But anywho, he ends up going to Marvin. He was like, I know you took down my cousin. He was like, no, I didn't, but condolences to your family. He was like, man, please, I know you took him out. I know the reason why you took him out. Marvin says, well, even if I did take out your big mouth cousin, what you gonna do about it? And he was like, that's what I thought. But here's the problem. He did do something about it. He went to Stefano. He went to the boss. This is exactly why you need to take out both of them. That's why I said Marvin is stupid. At the end of the day, he is not like his brother Lou. Lou is more smart with how he carries himself when he don't have the bottle in his hand, of course. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what his name is. You more dedicated to these characters than I am. Garage Man Owner is his name. At the end of the day, and having that funky, junky garage is his game. But either way, what I do know is that Marvin should have took him out because he's stupid. And honestly, I'm trying to figure out why he's so stupid. I remember the first season, they said that he did have one point an issue with some substances. Yeah. I can maybe understand that more if he was dibbling and dabbling at this point. But what makes him so damn stupid and so emotional in his decisions? Like, he's just not smart at all. He's a dumbass. And I don't even understand why Rock would have him handle certain things when he has proven time and time again that he's an F up. So at that point, I guess he felt like homeboy wasn't going to say nothing, but he go to Stefano, honey. And at this point, Rock is still trying to talk to her brother about, what they need to do. And she said, did you handle that situation with them? Did you, handle it? And he was like, yeah, I handled it. And she said, my version of handling it or your version of handling it? And then he said, God's version. And I said at that point, I said, well, Marvin, you going to hell. Okay. You are going to hell. You will not use God's name in this situation when you done took someone out and did the devil's work. How dare you? I could not believe he said that. I said, oh, okay. Yeah, you are definitely on your way up out of here putting God's name in your shenanigans, honey. That was the devil's work. That was not God's work, but okay. So that's when I said, oh, you a fool. You a straight up fool. But with that being said, when they go to Stefano talks to Rock alone and pretty much says, yeah, Garage Man, the stanky bastard, came over here and told me everything. And Rock is like, well, he could be lying. He was like, nah, he ain't lying to me. He's not lying to me. And at the end of the day, yeah, your brother is a problem. And Rock is like, my brother is my family. I don't turn against my family. So, of course, like a typical snake in the grass, of course, I think he was always planning this divide and conquer when things got ugly. He sat up there and said, yeah, like, you know everything about your brother, like he was doing side work with me. And how he's pretty much trying to take your place. I said, oh, here we go. And I can understand why people would think Rock would take him out. I don't think she personally is going to take him out, though. I don't think she's personally going to do it. All right. Even though she's capable. I mean, hell, she took out her own mama. All right. So, but at the same time, I just don't think she's going to do it. It would be quite interesting if she gets Lou to do it. That'll be very interesting. But I have a feeling that Rock bringing Lou back, it's going to be a domino effect of trying to take out not only Stefano, but a couple other people at the same time. I just don't understand how Lou going to be able to do it all on his own, but okay, I guess. But yeah, so what do you guys think about that and Stefano? I personally feel like Stefano always wanted Marvin in his back pocket just in case things jumped off and he can do a divide and conquer. I think that was always his plan. And he knew that Marvin was dumb enough to take the bait and do side work for him, knowing dang on well you cannot trust his ass. Since when have you ever seen Black people and Italian people, especially in New York, all in the underworld working together? Ain't never happened ever. So the mere fact that he even decided to do that, Marvin, you are stupid. You deserve at this point to get your ass up out of here. That's all I got to say about that. But with that being said, honey, Unique, okay? First of all, Kanan decides to go see Unique because he wants to talk to Unique. And interesting enough, Unique wants to talk to him. And I think he also wants to do a divide and conquer when it comes to Rock and Kanan. A couple people want to do a divide and conquer when it comes to Rock and Kanan. What I do know is, though, this better not be another situation where a child takes out the actual mama or a parent. If they do that one more time, when we clearly saw that in the first Power, I am going to lose it. Do you hear me? So they go outside to talk. And what the main thing we get from this scene is that Unique really sees the gangster in Kanan. He sees that Kanan has grown up, and he definitely kind of had a smirk on his face, even though he was talking about his own brother, about how he took out Unique's brother. He sees the fearlessness in him. Like, he has no fear. And he was like, yeah, that boy growing up. Like, he was like, I could probably do something with him. But with that being said, he kind of slipped talking about OC. But you know what? Writers, y'all ain't shit. Unless Joey Badass ad-libbed this, let me tell y'all something. Y'all ain't shit. He straight up called OC Webster. Baby, when he said Webster, I said, how dare you? I don't know how old some of y'all are, but damn it, I remember the show Webster with Emmanuel Lewis. And when he called OC Webster, I said, you know what? Whoever wrote that, y'all wrong as hell. That is so freaking shady that y'all sitting up there calling OC Webster. I started laughing. I know a lot of people gonna be saying, oh my gosh, they're discriminating against little people. Damn it, it was funny. It was funny that he said Webster. But at the end of the day, he's pretty much saying, man, everybody know about the situation with your people. Everybody know how rocky it down, which is another reason, I guess, for Kanan to have an excuse to hate his mama. Look, I don't know, y'all, but are y'all tired of the whole Kanan hating his mama narrative? Is it just me? Y'all gotta let me know, because I'm over it at this point. I'm just like, get over it. Like, your mama, yes, your mama has definitely had you do some shady stuff. But at the same time, it wasn't like you was 10 years old. You was a sound mind and body. You're a freaking teenager at that point. So you could have easily said, hell no. No, I'm not doing it. I'm going to go to school or whatever the case may be. You wanted to be the street thug that you are now, but you still want to blame your mama. At the end of the day, you already know how the streets get down. Or maybe that's the problem. He was so sheltered, even though his mama was the streets, he was so sheltered by the streets, he really doesn't understand it. And he may definitely understand it next season. Let me see. I'll be going. Yeah, yes. And hey, is this C Bonnet? How are you? So yeah, because it's actually getting good. So that's why I'm reviewing it now. So that is the benefit, is that I can review it when I feel is worthy to review. And let's hope I actually get the views for it, because that was another issue as well. Thank you, C Bonnet. I was like, how many times do we got to hear that you hate your mama? Like, I'm over it. Like, at this point, either do something or shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all. But, yeah, when he called him Webster, baby, I was like, OMG. So, yeah. So, with that, child, Juke and her boo thing, her Spellman boo thing, end up meeting up. I don't know, y'all. I have a feeling something going to happen to her. I have a feeling something's going to happen to her. Like, we still need to see that moment where Juke definitely, it's in her now. It's in her. But the way that she turned stone cold and even doesn't even care for Kanan at a certain point, something like, besides Marvin, I think it's going to take a lot, because Juke is definitely the girl who understands the streets, and she understands that if you live by the streets, you're going to be unalive by the streets. She didn't have no moments when it came to her mama, and granted, her mother wasn't really around, but I'm like, what is it going to take? And I feel like maybe this girl that she genuinely has a connection with, just like, what was it, Nicole in the first season? I don't know, but I just feel like the vibes that I'm getting, this genuine connection, because it almost kind of shows that Juke, if she gets close to anyone, something happens to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's like a black widow. And I feel like that's kind of the point that they're getting at, that anytime she gets close to someone, they get unalived or they're gone. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be quite interesting how they do this. But they end up going out to eat. And then, of course, when they come out, the shady, dirty cop ends up trying to talk to Juke. again, another cop that's getting under Juke's skin that she's willing to talk to. This is very clear as to possibly why Juke becomes a dirty cop, okay? Because one, she had the female cop that she was cool with, and then now she has Garcia, I think that's his last name, Garcia, who's of course on her, but at the same time willing to help her in different ways. So I think this is where the whole dirty cop scenario comes from. But with that being said, he wants to sit up there and talk to her. Not to mention when she actually goes out with what would be considered her big sis, I guess, in the lesbian world. She tells Juke that this detective came by to see her and was asking questions, or better, not even asking questions about Juke, not even asking questions about Juke, but more so actually telling her about Juke's family and what her family's all about, or whatever the case may be. And Juke plays it off, but you could tell she in deep thought about the situation, to the point where I was like, is she about to take this cop out? That's what I was thinking, because I feel like she damn sure capable of it. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Hit the like button on the way in, please. Hit the like button. So, with that being said, child, my predictions in that situation is that I personally feel like either Garcia or another cop is going to introduce her into becoming a cop and becoming a shady cop. Okay, we do know based off of the first power that she ends up being a cop in DC. How she gets there, I don't know, but I have a feeling, of course, things get hot and she ends up running away to DC maybe. But we'll have to figure it out. But I definitely feel like all of these cops and her being in connection with these cops definitely got something to do with what happens to her life later on. So, with that being said, child, at that point, she ends up going to Kanan, who's still trying to figure out what the hell happened to Crystal. And so, at that point, she says, you know what? I think I know somebody who can help and find out what's going on. And she was like, it ain't no easy relationship, but I'll do it for you. And so at that point, he's like, yeah, thanks, Juke. And Juke was like, just try to stay positive. You know what I'm saying? Things could work out or whatever. And Kanan was like, when do good things ever work out for us, Juke? And I said, damn. Now, that got to be a sad situation where you only 17, 18 years old and you just look at everything just bad happening in your life. That got to be a depressing situation. But he got a point. When do good things ever happen? I mean, financially, they ain't never had no issues, but they got issues with everything else in that family, right? So, yeah. So, anywho, let's talk about Lou, child. Lou was trying to be the Russell Simmons. He was trying to be the Suge Knight. He was trying to do all of that as far as the music scene is concerned. Of course, we know based off of the last episode, that freaking fool who looked like his breath stank all the time, the rapper, ended up getting into some nonsense and ended up helping these guys take out the actual record executive's family because they knew that they had money stashed there, right? So with that being said, honey, Lou got a little taste of the red rum, especially when he was trying to help his artist get out of that situation and went to the shop. I think his name was Kenyatta, and literally ended up powing them to the upper room. And so the cops come and talk to them. And of course, he act like he don't know nothing. And of course, the rapper act like he don't know nothing. Then the problem is the freaking female in the back, that's the other executive, the black girl. He sits up there and tells the cops that he got to her house around 11 o'clock. She looking like, Ninja, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. But she played off. She's like, I don't remember what time he got there. And so at that point, the cops leave. They try to play it cool, but she ain't playing it cool, honey. So she ended up going to him and saying, why did you sit up there and make me an accomplice? Why did you sit up there and lie? And he was like, I don't freaking remember when I got to your house. And she said, you know what, Lou, I'm done. You can't even be honest with yourself. And first of all, did she forget? Did she forget that she the one who threw the poo nanny at him? She threw the puss to him. Understand this. He didn't want her. She wanted him. She threw herself at him. You think he give a damn that you leaving? Hell, he cheated on you with his freaking La Vida Loca because she was about to go back to LA. So he had to get some of that Boricua. So, excuse me, you saying something, he don't give a shit. I was like, girl, did you forget he didn't have no special connection with you besides bumping and grinding with you anyways? Is it just me? Yes, thank you, because I was annoyed by her character. You come in like you this executive who know what you're doing as far as music is concerned. Then you sit up there and you throw it at this man who already shows that he ain't interested in you. He ain't interested in working with you on a business end, nor is he interested in you in getting that snappy nappy dugout. You wanted to throw it at him. So let me just tell you this. When she sat up there and said she was gone, Lou was like, bye. He didn't care. He didn't care. Let me see what you guys are saying. Sebon, he lost famous his grandma Crystal OC, even though, I was say OC stole from him. Who else you want him to lose? Everybody, Slim Bates, everybody. No, I'm just playing. Hey P Bronson, and hello Slim Bates. B really get into more trouble than Lou. Lou in the last season probably should have left him in jail. Ain't that the truth? Because he definitely wasn't a good asset. That definitely was not a good asset. I was like, I don't know how much money you spent on him to get him out of prison, but he's a dumb. Lou was going back to the make no sense. Yeah, let me see. Technically, he lost that already. Y'all are hilarious. Make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. Hit the like button. She must have thought her chocolate chip cookie was so good he would stop doing crimes for it. Yeah, and it ain't. Literally, like, it's not. And once she found out that as much as she threw that chocolate chip cookie, and then he still ended up going, you know what I'm saying, to that flan, to that, you know what I'm saying, rice and beans, honey. Yeah, he wasn't interested. He wasn't interested at all whatsoever. He wanted his boricua. You know what I'm saying? That's it. That's all. But yeah, so with that being said, after all of that, Lou ends up going to the freaking record label and says, I'm out. I quit. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I quit. I'm out of here. Don't give a shit. Let me keep it moving. And so, of course, the record label guy was like, there ain't no money out there in the streets. He was like, the hell it ain't. The hell it ain't. And sat up there and was like, I'm out. He ends up going to his sister. Yes, this season did go by too quick. He goes to his sister and he pretty much is like, I'm ready to work. And she was like, yeah, bullshit. You was about to lose your mind over D-Wiz and the other stuff, and you went into that bottle after that. Now, this is where it actually got me confused, because he said the reason why he went into the bottle is because he realized how much he enjoyed and how much he liked doing what he did. Okay, let's hold on to that. That's what he says. He says, I enjoyed it so much that it pretty much scared him into going to the bottle, knee deep in the bottle. But here's the problem with that. Y'all remember that infamous scene where he ends up going to his sister's house, and the last thing she says to him is, I own you, ninja. I know we all remember that. That was a very, very powerful scene. I don't believe his excuse of getting into that bottle is because he enjoyed it too much. Because why was you about to cry with your lips quivering and everything else when your sister said she owned you? To me, it was something much more deeper. And I don't know if I necessarily believe, like, okay, yeah, you liked it so much, but that wasn't your first time doing what you did. He definitely had been a capper for a very long time. So that's when I was just like, you crying and about to lose your shit when your sister said, I own you. That's when you started going into the bottle. And especially after what happened to your first artist, I don't know. His reasoning for it, I was like, that ain't the reason why you went into the bottle. That, to me, y'all let me know if y'all felt like that was believable. But I felt like that was supposed to be that catalyst moment when he was about to cry, when his sister grabbed him and said, I own you, that was the moment that he went downhill. So that's why I'm just like, sir, let's have the real reason. We have 18 in the room and 11 likes. Please hit the like button. I was crying with him. Exactly. So you mean to tell me the reason why you went into the bottle is because you started liking it so much? No, that doesn't seem like the reason. You started going downhill when you was mad at your sister for saying that. And then all of a sudden you lost your artist. Like, it, to me, his reason is not adding up. So I don't know if that was the writer's fault, or we're going to see more on why he said that either next episode or next season. We'll have to see. So let me see what you guys are saying. Rock B getting beside herself. Oh, she do. She do. I'm quite interested in seeing where she's going to end up next season, because we do know in Power 1, Kanan says, I got to go visit my mother. We don't know if that's jail or we don't know if that's hell. Okay. Which means he's visiting her tombstone. I don't know. But with that being said, y'all let me know. I feel like Lou is going to be masterful. I don't know if he's going to get a crew, but I feel like what we see at the end, which of course, if you guys have watched the episode, at least I hope you have at this point, Lou and Rock end up going to see Unique at the end, saying that they need to talk. All right. Now, it's a couple of scenarios that can go a certain way in that situation. She's playing Unique so Lou could take him out, or she's actually trying to get Unique and her people together to take Stefano out. Or it could be multiple things. I definitely feel like Rock could easily manipulate the situation and blame some stuff on Marvin, her own brother, so that Unique can take him out. I can see that too. I just don't know yet if she would actually pull the trigger herself when it comes to her brother. I don't know. But I do feel like she will definitely, because she a master manipulator. She's wonderful with manipulating. I do feel like she can manipulate somebody to actually take out not only Marvin, but get Stefano out of here too. Because she ended up getting that new connect. So she don't need Stefano anymore. You know what I'm saying? She don't need Stefano anymore. Let me see what you guys are saying. Rock outfits this season was T. She did. Oh yeah. No, every season she gives me nostalgia about the early 90s for sure. They made sure she was hooked up. I always took the line as if that's just how he referred to his baby's mom. What line are you talking about, T? Unique, Snap, Pop, and Crackle gotta go. Yeah, Snap, Pop, and Crackle gotta go, but they are playing a mean game of chess. Do you understand me? So I feel like that couple is a little bit too powerful to possibly go by next week. I don't know, but hey, anything is possible. Because right after he said that in OG Power, then we got the Freaky Tale scene. Oh, okay. That's what you're talking about. Okay, that's what you're talking about. Got you, Teeth. Gotcha. What is confusing is in 50 Cent movie, Get Rich or Trying. I can't say the word out loud, Pete Bronson. His mother was unalive, but in the show Power, he does not specify. I wonder which one is. It's one of them. It's one of them. But I don't know if, again, the fact that we didn't see him go visit her, that means that she is unalive. I don't know. Hey, Dale. Crackle the dog knows too much. Gotta go. But yeah, so with that being said, I feel like Lou is about to get treacherous like a mofo, because he is smarter than Marvin and he definitely moves different than Marvin. Would Lou take Marvin out? I don't know, y'all. What y'all think about that? Y'all think Lou would take Marvin out? Especially if it's between him and the rest of the family and Marvin. Do y'all think Lou is capable of doing it? I don't know, y'all. I don't know, but I still don't feel like, and again, the writers can shock us all. I don't feel like Rock has it in her to actually pull the trigger on Marvin. She could easily get someone else to do it though, because she tired of him effing up and the fact that he betrayed her in her mind. So at the end of the day, I can definitely see her and making sure that she could take all three of them out. She could take out Stefano, she could take out Marvin, and she could take out Unique. But something tells me that her cooch still flutters when she sees Unique. I know mine do when I see Joey Badass, I'm just saying. But I don't know. I don't know, but we'll have to see. But yeah, definitely. I don't know. Okay, good. Okay, make sure you guys hit the like button on the way in. And thank you guys for coming in. Okay, so Marvin had to go back. Okay, so T said, I don't see it. Marvin had to go back to his breathing exercise when that man. Oh, yeah, we about to get into that. I can see Jukebox taking out Lou. I can see Jukebox taking out Rock. Let's talk about that. I could see Jukebox taking out Rock. Given the opportunity and what could happen with her father, because remember, she has always had Rock's back. They're the only two females. I could definitely see a standoff between her and her aunt. I could totally see it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could definitely see that. My life into it, none of them. Okay. I could see Rock setting up Marvin to go to jail. That would be the best case scenario. Yeah, jail would save him. But let's talk about Marvin and again his stupid moves. The brother shadow, which sibling is willing to which sibling is willing to do it. But again, she did it in the most very weak, passive aggressive way. And again, she did not like her mother. She may have had love for her, but she had not forgiven her mother. Her bond with her brothers has been everything. They had each other. Remember in the first season, she said she would DIE. You know what I'm saying? For him. So her bond with them is different than her mother. She felt like her mother never really cared. So I definitely feel like I don't know. I don't think she could do it. None of them taking one another out. Okay. And then Marvin saved Kanan, Rock, Lou, and Jukebox at least once. That is very true. That is very true. But he's stupid though, Dale. He's stupid. He do some of the dumbest stuff. He has made so many mistakes just this season alone. Honestly, it's time for him to go. This is just ridiculous. Like, so let's talk about the last stupid mistake he made, okay? This fool, because when he was waiting outside for Rock, he ended up seeing this little girl get off the bus with her father. And so that made him think about you know whose daughter, and she calls him Uncle Marvin. So he ends up trying to find out where she at. He ends up going to the school. Come to find out, they keep saying, oh, thank you, DeMarcus, for the $5 super chat. Pop turned Crystal from the prom queen to the prom fiend. Pop smoked Crystal just like Rock smoked Scrappy and Howard. Yes. But she was more like the fact she was like, here you go, baby. You know, bad bitches like us, we got to stick together, right? Child, just calculated and evil. But anyways, moving back to Marvin. Marvin ends up going to the school trying to figure out where she at. And pretty much with some money and some influence, the guy ends up giving Marvin the address. Marvin, and I'm going to take an educated guess where he went. I can almost probably guess there's not one black person that lives in that neighborhood, okay? Believe it or not, there are still so many parts of New York that are very segregated, especially back in the 90s, all right? And so he ends up just walking up, trying to ask about what the heck is going on with her. She hasn't been at school. They claim she's sick. And of course, when you see these fools come to the door, they look like they fiends they damn self. They look dirty. They look exactly like her pappy. And so they like, oh, we ain't never heard of you or whatever the case may be. He's like, I was friends with the father. And the guy was like, that ain't nothing to be bragging about. We ain't heard of you, goodbye. But next thing you know, that girl's like, Uncle Marvin, Uncle Marvin. So he ends up sitting up there busting through the door, okay? And he's like, where are you? Where are you? We see a door that is literally like bolted shut, like with a freaking lock and everything. He decides to take all of his force to open up that door. You see the girl with a baby in her hand, all right? Now, of course, naturally, they had to have that white woman call him the N-word with the R at the end. And I said, why? Why did we have to go there? But I guess they wanted to make sure they put more oomph in it, so then that way when he took them to the upper room of hell, that we didn't care. So she tries to stop him and was like, get out of our house, N-word. And then at that point, he ends up going to her and he was like, what the heck are they doing to y'all? What are these grown ass people doing to y'all? And then the freaking man comes with a bat, child. Comes with a bat. Talk about, you gonna get up out of here. And Marvin said, no, I'm not. And literally ended up pow-powing both of them. Now, mind you, he didn't have no silencer on that. Okay. He didn't have a silencer. And we all know that, especially like in the boroughs of New York, all of those homes are pretty damn close. You mean to tell me no one heard the pow pows? Just like no one heard the commotion with the apartment you went to a couple of episodes ago and your DNA is all over the place? Marvin, you're stupid. So yeah, so at that point, this little girl looking at him like, who the hell is this man? And he's like, oh my gosh, tell them that a white guy with tattoos all over himself is the one who did this. I'll come and see you once the dust settle, okay? And she looking at him like she don't know whether to be scared, whether to hug him. She don't know what the hell is going on. But what I do know is that it is very possible that this little girl is going to tell on Marvin. That's what I do know. You know what I'm saying? I do know that it is very possible that she would just tell on him. So at this point, we could easily say that Marvin can end up going to prison, or Marvin can be unalived, or Marvin can end up going to prison and get unalived in prison. We know that happens too. So y'all let me know what y'all think about that prediction. But at the end of the day, Marvin has messed up so many times that how many more bodies do they need with possible DNA all over the house for them to sit up there and either take him out because he messing up that much or take him to prison for the rest of his life? I'm also from Queens. That neighborhood is definitely, oh yeah, I know Queens very well. So does T, okay? Know Queens very well. So that's why I know what I know. That's why I was like, you are standing out like a sore thumb, sir. You are standing out like a sore thumb. That's right. Queens get the money. I'm from Cali, but lived in New York for years, honey. Lived in New York for years. So when he went up there, I said, you mean to tell me half of the neighborhood ain't looking out the window? Already asking you what the hell you doing there? Like, come on now. Let's be realistic here. But y'all let me know what y'all think about that, okay? Let me know what y'all think about that. But with that being said, and Dale, I don't know what part of Queens you from, but I'll know you true Queens if you tell me what is the best pizza spot in Queens that's infamous. I'll see if you know what I'm talking about. But anywho, moving on. So yeah, y'all let me know where Marv is going to possibly go. We only got one more episode. One more episode, y'all. And then we got to wait until 2026. I hate the fact that it started getting good at the end of the freaking season. It don't make no damn sense. But anywho, let's talk about these fools. Let's talk about these fools, okay? So I must say, there you go. Dale. Oh, you were OG. Oh, you a real one. You a real one. That is the only spot, the best pizza you will ever get. I don't care if you live in Harlem, Staten Island, you better go over there to get that pizza, that slice, that cheese slice. Dale, you better make sure you not only hit the like button, but subscribe, because I know you a real one on that one. Real one on that one. Take that E-train, get off right there at the Jamaica Center. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. But anywho, with that being said, sorry, I kind of had a flashback moment, you guys. Sorry, in my New York days. But yeah, so these fools, I must say, they playing a mean chess game. Yes, Dale. Oh, I'm getting hungry too. Let's stop, Dale. So they playing a mean chess game. They literally took out Famous. They have dirty cops on their payroll. And of course, they unalived Crystal to try to figure out who Kanan was really looking at so they could try to pin it on them. So Kanan ends up going to see them and pretty much says, well, you know what? We were going to call you anyways. Because our cops ended up finding out who was responsible for Famous. And she's like, and we know that they would lie to us. They would lie to us. And they said, it was your mama. Now, here's the problem. Here is the problem. Kanan has so much hatred for his mama. And let's be clear, he is still a teenager. Y'all remember when we was all teenagers, we act with our emotions first, logic later. So he's already emotional. He done already lost all of his people. He feel like, you know what I'm saying, he hate his mammy. And so he's literally processing what the hell that they are saying. And so what we pretty much possibly see is that there is going to be this tug of war between Kanan and his mama in the worst way next season. But interesting enough, they're trying to hook up Unique and Kanan together. Now, we did see Rock saw Kanan leaving Unique's spot. But we also see at the end of the episode, Rock and freaking Lou going to see Unique. There are so many ways this could go, you guys. But what are y'all thinking about this? Now, I personally feel like somebody gonna have to take this old couple out with they faux fur. All right. What's funny is they didn't mention the cops who did what cops did it. Exactly, Nelly. What's up, Uda? What's up, Uda? BK in the house. I wonder how would Unique feel that Kanan smoked Ronnie with Snaps and Pop's approval. You know what, though? I don't know if he would care, DeMarcus. I understand your point, but remember, Ronnie did try to take out his own brother. I mean, he was straight up hitting freaking Unique's head like it was a piñata. All right. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how he would feel about that. Do a poll? Okay. So, let me do a poll, y'all. So, with that being said, what would be a good question? Who do you think will be unalived this season? And I'm going to say unalive, okay? Who do you think will be unalive this season? Oh, damn it. No, I'm going to say, do you think Marvin will be unalive this season? There we go. Because I think he's probably the biggest one that we're anticipating. No? Y'all let me know. Do you think Marvin will be unalive this season? Let's see. Oh, Dale, thank you. Thank you. All right. I put my poll up, you guys. Big question. Okay. How the cops know what bus Chris was boarding? Now that, Dale, you got a point. How did the cops know what bus Crystal was boarding? Kanan maybe told Juke she leaving, but told Garcia to question her about Famous. You got a point there, Dale. And this is why I love when people come in and give like their different theories. Because I was even wondering that too. I was like, how the hell do they know? But again, it's kind of easy, even back in them days, if they did know what her first name and last name was. Well, then again, no, because then, yeah, you got a point. I could see if they had really good computer systems back then, but they didn't. So somebody had to give the word. Someone had to give the word. And Kanan, again, maybe his own doing messed it up, just like the whole D-Wiz situation. So you got a point. And thank you for the super chat, Dale. I appreciate it. But yeah, that is a good point. Lou and Rock could smoke Snaps and Pop to save Kanan. Kanan could smoke Pickett and Wally for the. Yeah, that's true. Yes, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. Why didn't Kanan go with her to the bus station? Yeah, he sure did say, look, I can't protect you no more. Bye. He sure didn't make sure that she was safe when she was leaving out. He sure did. And why take the bus? She couldn't take the train. I feel more safe on the train any day than the damn bus. Ronnie hit Unique with that pipe. Like he sure Ronnie hit Unique with that pipe. Like his head was a pinata and candy was about to fall out. I was like, oh my gosh, like what is going on here? It may be like Juke will tell the detective about the dirty cops. But he could be a dirty cop. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I say that is because he was doing some shady stuff with Kanan and hitting him and all of that stuff, which is illegal. Cops can't do that. He could be a dirty cop. Because what he technically doing is not on the radar anyways. He's going behind their back trying to figure out what happened and doing dirty ways, like doing some dirty things to try to find out what happened. I don't trust him, but then again, I don't really trust cops, period. So hell, maybe that's my damn problem. They watched her. Yeah, they could have watched her. Yep, and Garcia stupidly got those same cops to bring her in. Yeah, you're very welcome. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you. Old-fashioned police work. Nah, the cops probably sat on Kanan's apartment. That is true. That was the old school way to do it. Now they can easily find your name in the system if you end up trying to travel somewhere, but that is the old way to do it. Too many people know Kanan's new apartment. That's crazy, right? Because the whole point of them leaving the other apartment was due to the fact that they had to get out of there because it was there's too much foot traffic coming in and out. So they end up having the same situation. It's quite interesting. But with that being said, let me see how many people took the poll. Let's see. All right, so we have 10 votes. Will Marvin be unalive this season? Most of you guys are saying yes. You are saying yes, that Marvin will definitely be unalive this season, y'all. It seems like we're preparing for it. We are preparing for Marvin to be taken out in some way, shape, or form because he has just made too many stupid moves. And could that be what makes Juke the hardcore, evil, demonic, ice cold, where my heart used to be? I'm so cold. Is that possibly the reason why she just becomes so F-less when something happens to her father? I don't know. But again, it's possible that could be the reason, but would that be the reason for her and Kanan to kind of hate each other towards the end? Her and Kanan didn't trust each other, and Kanan was willing to take out his own cousin that used to be his BFF. We need to know how it gets there. How it literally gets there. Let me see. Juke may have gotten inspiration from this cop to be one because he's dirty. Right. Exactly, Aaron. My big hope is Marvin goes into a coma like Franklin Saint, but gets amnesia. Dale, look, that sounds like some great writing, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Marvin going to prison mean Howard was actually right. Marvin burns in the fire pit. Okay. Everybody talking about Marvin. Now, what would be interesting is, and that's another thing too. I forgot the Asian guy that they was using his family's business. Child, that man was a junkie. He was gay. He was a junkie. They tried to give him every freaking stereotype there was back in the 90s, right? All rolled into one. I said, oh, really? Is this what we're doing? But he ends up getting unalived by one of Unique's people. And so that family is in mourning. They could also sit up there and bring this family down. They could also bring this family down. They have so many things, especially Marvin. Marvin killed, what was the connect, the H connect? He sat up there and unalived him. He unalived the wife's husband. He done unalived the couple. Marvin has so many bodies this season. It's like, how do we not expect for him to go at this point? If Aisha would definitely, that's what I'm thinking, DeMarcus. Aisha being innocent, going to school and things like that. Yeah, I think that could turn her. But again, I feel like she would be seen as the Black Widow. everything that she cares for, anytime she gets close to someone, y'all notice they end up going bye-bye. Notice that, right? Every time Juke is close to someone or whatever the case may be, I wouldn't be shocked if the lady who introduced her to the gay bar ends up something happening to her too. I wouldn't be shocked. That's just, to me, Juke is just that she, the D word follows her. And I ain't talking about peeing. I'm talking about the unalive D word. Only way I accept Marvin unaliving is if Stefano or Russo goes too. I think multiple people are going to go. And it could be that Marvin and Stefano go. Because at this point, why do we still need Stefano? I don't see why we need Stefano at this point. She has another connect, so I don't see the point. So it's possible nothing ever goes good for us, Juke. Right. But he said that. I don't know if she's accepted that yet, but I think she's about to accept it. But yeah, with that being said, Jazz, do you think Detective Garcia will be the one person that gets Jukebox to become a police officer because she owes him now? Good point, P. Bronson. Because we do know she becomes a cop. Good point. And for whatever reason, one thing that they have set up very nicely is she has a connection with the streets, but the cops still trust her in some kind of way. You notice that, right? There have been multiple cops so far on this show that has been willing to help out Juke detectives. So definitely she would be the perfect asset on the streets because she definitely has that fearlessness when it comes to the street, but also she could be very smart when it comes to being a cop. And we know she was already trained in the army. So yeah, I could definitely see that. Yeah, the mafia most also be tired of. Yeah, exactly. I think Stefano's gonna leave us. I don't see the point of us having Stefano again, to be honest. The board has to be clear for Breeze. And are we still talking about Breeze? Is Breeze really coming, y'all? Do y'all really? Let me do another damn poll. Let me do another poll. Okay, so I'm gonna end this poll because we got 11. Let me see. Are we actually going to see Breeze? Okay. Because I'm convinced that we not. Are we finally going to see Breeze? I want to know. I don't know how many people we got in the chat. Y'all let me know how many people we got in the chat and how many likes. Are we finally going to see Breeze? Okay. Let's see. Y'all let me know what y'all think because I've given up. I've given up when it comes to the Breeze situation. I have given up. I think at this point, I'm just ready to see Ghost and Tommy in their younger years because they definitely have to come next season. But I'm giving up on the Breeze situation. Breeze will be revealed by the time the Origins come out. That's right. They are doing Origins, Nelly. I keep forgetting about Origins. I keep forgetting about it. I wonder if Origins is going to come out in 2026 right after Raising Kanan is done. I hope so. We don't have to wait until 2027. Juke seems the power cops have and her bloodline and wisdom help her to. Yeah, that is true. That is true. Oh, great. We got 21 people and 21 likes. Oh, I appreciate the support, you guys. Let me see what y'all saying. Oh, y'all ain't playing when it comes to this Breeze poll. Let me see. We got 10 votes. It's 50-50. Okay, wait. Now we got 11 votes. Okay, so somebody say yes. Okay. Wait, 10 votes right now. Y'all going back and forth. It's half and half. Are we finally going to see Breeze? Half of y'all saying yes, half of y'all saying no. So we're going to have to see about that. I feel like Breeze going to be introduced in season 5. We'll see. We will see. They still have to do the 5th season of Race. Yeah, but you know what, Nelly? Here's the problem. They only do 10 episodes. Yeah, I'm telling y'all, they're gonna have to cover a lot next season. Next season is the last season, and the series is over. This next season has to be jammed packed to really be able. Y'all talking about Breeze, you talking about Ghost, you're talking about Tommy, and potentially Kanan going to prison too. Because remember, Ghost set up Kanan. Are we gonna see that in season 5 also? So they have a lot to cover, and Juke and how she becomes like, how do we all get there in season 5 with only 10 episodes? It's going to be quite interesting. You said Unique, not Breeze. I think if anything, he will be in Power Force, not in Power Kanan. I feel like Breeze. Okay, and then they still have to do season 5. In the season 10, you mean episode 10 trailer? It looks like Kanan is shaking a woman's hand. Pranessa. Oh yes, I remember because isn't it Lou that follows Pranessa? Ooh, are they gonna take out Pranessa? What is going on here? We got to see Breeze before Young Ghost and Tommy. Yeah, they have to do an introduction with Breeze because he recruited Kanan, Ghost, and Tommy. You think we gonna get Breeze next episode? Is that the introduction? And maybe we're thinking it's Unique, and there's gonna be introduction with the old trifling couple, and they're gonna introduce him to Breeze. Maybe the introduction with Breeze happens next episode. What y'all think about that? Let me see. It's a chance that season 5 is only 8. Really? That would be crazy, DeMarcus, if it's only 8 episodes versus the 10. Okay, so we got 12 votes now, and most of you guys now are saying yes, that we are going to see Breeze. It's going to be quite interesting. It's going to be quite interesting. And so with that being said, you guys, that was the end of the episode. And Kanan, like a dumbass, and it seems like a lot of his family, especially the males in his family, they are so emotional. Rock got more masculinity, and she got more of a peen than some of them do. I'm like, they always thinking off of emotions and making stupid decisions. At least with Ludo, he started making stupid decisions when he was taking that bottle to the head. But yeah, you guys, I appreciate you guys for coming. It's going to be quite interesting. I'm probably the next episode, I'm probably going to do a late night live again. So probably next Friday, because I think it comes out Thursday, at least it comes out Thursday for me at 9 p.m. midnight East Coast time. So I'll probably do another live Friday evening around this time so we can talk about it, because this is going to be the last episode, and then we got to wait until 2026. Thank you for the live chat. This is my first time listening to you. I love your voice. I subscribe. Oh, thank you, P. Bronson. I appreciate you so much. B. Rilla could help Lulu next episode. He could. He said he's willing to do anything because he needs to sit up there and make money for his babies. But B really kind of stupid, so he'll probably go to the upper room of hell too. Ghost was a little older before us setting up Kanan. That would have happened. So you think that's not going to happen until Origins? Did they say Origins was actually going to have Kanan or feature Kanan? I thought Origins was strictly about Ghost and Tommy. Y'all let me know, but I feel like they said it was strictly about Ghost and Tommy, but maybe Kanan does get an introduction then, and then that's when he goes to jail. Oh, thank you. I love this. Just subscribe. Thank you, Aaron. Yes, welcome to the crew. We love to engage and talk over here and have fun, but this was an excellent conversation. That's when you know that the season is getting good, honey, because those first couple of episodes, I was struggling. I was falling asleep. I was just like, what is going on? This was like my favorite freaking Power. And what's happening? But the writers, these last couple of episodes, I'm impressed. They got me again. I hope they keep it up. Let me see. Brilla is breezy. Oh, you think so? See, Bonnie, okay, she got a conspiracy going on a little bit. She said B Rilla is breezy. What y'all think? I don't know, y'all. Which song is better, Old Boy or Candy Shop? I like them both. I can't decide on that one. Maybe Old Boy a little bit more because I just like, oh boy, down, down, down. I like that part. I don't know. But I like both of them. They both remind me, you know what I'm saying, of my college days. So I like both of them. Well, thank you, DeMarcus. I think these Jersey people are going to turn on Unique. Fat Boy had no respect for Unique's ride. He sure didn't. He sure did. It could be, you know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. It could be that Unique, Rock, and Lou have no choice but to stick together because of what's about to come against them. You know what I'm saying? Hell no, he's too scary to be Breeze. He didn't want to do that. That is true, Nelly. That is true. But maybe something snaps in him and he ends up becoming more ruthless. Maybe Lou makes him that ruthless. You never know. Snaps and Pops is giving me Jerome and Louis vibes. I think they was trying to do a Jerome and Louis, but baby, they ain't Jerome and Louis, honey. Like, y'all, for those who know, But for those who don't know, who are new, Snowfall was my shit. Do you hear me? Snowfall was my. Jerome and Louis was the couple. I'm sorry, this couple they trying, but they ain't got nothing on Jerome and Louis. Nothing at all. Yeah, Jiggy Smalls was denting right and don't like Kanan. Those Jersey dudes are getting comfortable. They can flip and try to take everything. Sure can. But with that being said, you guys, thank you guys so much for listening. And let's continue the conversation in the comment section. I want to know what you guys are thinking about this season and what's going to happen next season. Would love to see your predictions as well. Oh boy is definitely better than, yeah, I like oh boy because I like the beat to it. Teach your man how to, yes, P. Bronson, teach your man how to squabble. Yes, classic. Rock Marvin, although brothers and sisters are more like Louis and Jerome. Yeah, but you know what? Oh, I could do a whole segment on Snowfall, y'all. When I tell you I dissected that show from top to bottom, remember though, Jerome for a very long time did not even respect Louis. He didn't respect her. He just saw her as a woman that he was taking care of. That's why she had to be the way that she was towards the end, I guess, to prove that she can be that big person in the game. But yeah, but that's a whole nother live. Can't really compare those two songs anyways. But with that being said, you guys, like I said, let's continue the conversation. Please like, share, and subscribe. But definitely make sure you hit that likety like button. The like button gets me in the algorithm so more people like you can find my channel. So with that being said, I will see you on my next video. Toodles.